You know, I'd like to discuss the one advice I have for everyone, and it's pretty clean and simple. Don't worry. That's it. Don't worry. The more you worry, the more you show you don't believe in God. You don't believe in the universe. You don't believe that something greater than yourself is controlling your environment, controlling your life, which it is. Now, that doesn't mean you're not in control. That doesn't mean you don't have choices. You don't have free will. Uh, but it's like the old saying: the more you worry, the more you make it happen. And that's why you worry, because you don't want it to happen. But then all of a sudden it materializes. It happens. You're worried your boyfriend's going to cheat on you, and then he does. So, and I can go on with a list of why you worry. Uh, First off, a lot of it, most of it, 99.9% of it, is not in your control. You didn't make him cheat on you. You can't stop him from cheating on you. But your response, the way you handle it, can make it come about, can make it happen. And, I know that's not your goal to make it happen. And the more you worry, the more likely it is. Because you also send the signal of why is she so worried? Is she doing it herself? You know, and that's why she's worried. Because a lot of people, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're cheating." It's because they are cheating. The devil doesn't want me to talk. And he's got a horse in my throat. I got a thing of water right there. I just drank some water, so it's not like my throat is dry, you know. But don't worry. I mean, you're worried about the government. You're worried about the country. You're worried about your grades. You know, and I'm not saying like don't go to school or don't, you know, you should go to school because you want to learn, not because you're worried about the salary you're going to make. 'Cause I'll tell you, a lot of the people with degrees make a lot less than the people with no degrees, and especially in the beginning. In the end, though, in the end it turns the opposite. But in the beginning, a lot your undergraduates and graduates have to work for nothing because they have to prove themselves. They have to prove themselves to be worth that salary that they're chasing after. You know, and like I said in my last video, don't chase, don't chase money. Don't. That's another part of worrying. If you're chasing after a girl or you're chasing after money uh, or a job, it's because you don't think it's yours. You know, it's like the guy who buys 100 scratch-off tickets. He's chasing money, and he doesn't. He knows he doesn't deserve it. That's why he bought 100 tickets. He's trying to play the odds and force the universe to give him a win. And you know what? The universe will give him the win. Sure, it'll give him the win, but that ticket will be the worst thing that ever happened to him. His wife will divorce him, or his kids will hate him, whatever. Depending, I don't know what the value would be, but even if it was 5,000, all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork. Oh, I need this. Mm. And believe me, it wouldn't work out good. And now you get that one person that goes into a candy store or something and hasn't bought a lotto ticket in 10 years and says, hey, give me that card. And they win $3 million. They're not chasing money. They're not worried. They're not in dire need of it. And they're not using it as a way to pay their rent. But and that's why they won it. And for that person, the 3 million won't be a miserable experience. It'll be a very good experience because they did it in a healthy mental way and spiritual way. You know, they just said, play the odds. I haven't played in years, so they won, and that's the difference between chasing and not chasing and worrying and not worrying. You know, like I said, if you're in a bad way or you have a bad situation in your life, it's that way for a reason. And worrying ain't going to get you out of it. Doing what you need to do in a certain circumstance is what you got to do to get out of it. Like I had court cases, I had to go to my court dates. I had to listen to the crap that they tried to line up against me, and it all fell on its face. And I went and I kept my mouth shut and I did what I had to do, you know. And even like with my trial, when I went to trial on a misdemeanor, during the trial, I went in pajamas. Most people go to a trial and they wear a three-piece suit and they get a good haircut and all that stuff. I went in pajamas. My attitude was like, F you. I didn't break any law and I'm not going to jail for any law that I didn't break. I did, and I did get found guilty, and on appeal it got reversed. But that was my attitude going in. And probably that's why it got reversed because my attitude was like, F you. You had to get me on a real charge to stop this BS. And, now they won't let me go to trial anymore. Anytime I go to trial, try to take a charge to trial, they block me. They say I can't go to trial because they know they're going to lose. And it's very embarrassing for them to lose. So I don't worry. I don't worry. Yeah, I think you can tell from my videos that I'm very worry free. I'm nonchalant. I'm laid back. You know, and I have no problems. And if I do have a problem, I created it. And usually I created it for the wrong reasons. So, just relax, go to the beach. It's going to be beach season next. And, the beaches have a lot less people there. The people are too busy, they don't have time to go to the beach, they think. And make time. Go to the beach. Enjoy your life. It won't be long before you're underground and enjoying nothing. So while you're above ground, enjoy life. Be worry free. If you worry about the girls, that's a repellent to the girls. Girls can tell when you're desperate, and it repels them. It doesn't attract them. The guy who's confident and doesn't care and is nonchalant, somebody like me, it attracts them. It doesn't repel them. They want to know why he's confident. They want to know why he doesn't care. When the guy that's all nervous and once it happens, they know why. There's no mystery there. So make a little mystery. I don't know. I'm not worried about you, and I'm not worried about myself. Life is going to unfold the way life is supposed to unfold. And you can go on YouTube, you can go on X, you can go on all these things, and and they manufacture those posts, those stories to make you worry. And and when you don't worry, their answer to you is, "Why aren't you worried? What are you crazy? Aren't you worried about that? Aren't you worried what he's going to do or what he's going to say? Or no, no. Because you gotta remember, 99% of it's out of my control. I don't know. I can't control what he's going to say or what he's going to do. And, you know, it just, the more you try to micromanage your life, the less management you have in your life. Just let it go. Just let it go. It's like when you get caught in a riptide, just let it take you. Let it take you out. And when you get, and the more you fight it, the more you run out of fuel, and run out of the ability to swim, and that's when you drown. But if you let it take you and you start swimming parallel to the beach in a nonchalant way, you'll get out of it with no problem. You'll have no problem. You'll be out of it. Yeah, you'll be further away from the beach than you started, but you won't be out of gas because you didn't fight it, and you'll go right back in. So don't worry. Worrying never helped anyone, and don't let other people that worry try to suck you in to their wild thinking. You know, Trump wants you to worry about Iran. Trump wants you to worry about Venezuela. But don't worry. You never win by worrying.